We live in a time where we have access to more learning materials online than we've ever had. A lot of it is free or offered at a very low price, so there really is no excuse for not diving in and starting to learn that thing you've always wanted to learn. Except for the fact that learning on your own can be hard. If you've ever tried learning something new on the side, you might know how hard it can be to stay focused and stay motivated. But luckily, there are things that you can do to make self-learning a bit easier. In this video, I am sharing 5 tips that helped me when I was learning on the side of having a full-time job to help you learn faster, make more progress, and stay motivated. Hey everybody, my name is David. I am a self-taught UX and UI designer. I spent about 2 years while having a full-time job studying on the side with the goal of becoming a designer. Learning on the side for me was a super rewarding experience and something that eventually ended up changing my life. I had ended up on a career path that wasn't really what I wanted, and so I decided to change path and pursue design. Going back to college and taking an official program or course wasn't really an option for me, so I decided to go for self-learning. And after about 2 years, I managed to land my first job as a UX and UI designer and switch career paths. But it's definitely been a long journey to get here. I definitely struggled with staying motivated. I even thought I would quit and just stop learning altogether, but I eventually made it, and so I wanted to share some of the things that I've learned along the way so that other people that might be in a similar situation to what I was in can benefit from that too. My first tip for anyone that is embarking on a self-learning journey would be to set a goal. Figure out exactly why you want to do this, what it is specifically that you want to learn so that you know when you've achieved your goal. Maybe you're like me and you want to try to switch careers. Maybe you want to pick up a skill that can help you build an app or create something else, or maybe you just want to learn something because you're interested in it. Whatever it is, try to define that. Really try to think about why you want to start learning. Make it as specific as possible so that you know what the end goal is really, and you have something clearly defined to aim at. Because that's something you can always return to once you've started studying. Once things get hard and you kind of lose focus, you can always return to your why and what, and that can often help you get back on track. My second tip would be to involve other people. Tell the people around you, tell your friends, tell your family that you've decided to start learning this new thing. Telling other people that you're doing this gives you some kind of sense of a commitment. Once you've shared it with others, they know what's going on, and so they kind of have an expectation that you will start making progress. They'll check in on you, they'll ask you how you're doing. That can really give you some motivation to keep going and to always have an update for the people when they ask. And once you share with others that you're trying to learn this new thing, very often they know someone who knows something about this field. For me, several of my friends knew other designers, and so by telling them that I was learning this thing, they encouraged me to reach out to these people and connect with them. And that again, it really just strengthened my motivation. And by reaching out to other designers, that gave me some connections already and helped me learn from their experiences. So yeah, tell others, open up, share with the world that you're trying to learn this new thing. My third tip is a very practical one. Try to schedule in time in your calendar for studying. Actually book time every day if you can, but at least several times a week that gives you time to study and to focus on learning. I found that since you're not enrolled in a course, since you're not following a set schedule, you kind of have to create that schedule yourself. And one of the ways of doing that is to add it into your calendar, to book the time. Because when you do that, you open up your calendar app or whatever you're using and you'll see these time slots, and it kind of makes it a bit more official. It helped me really take the time and dedicate the time to study almost every day, because by doing that you can really get into a really good habit of prioritizing the time and feeling like you're committed to putting in the hours several times a week. So my next tip is to find and connect with people in your local area that are experts. So one of the things that I did pretty early on when I was still learning design was to find people in my network that were doing what I was trying to achieve. So basically I would go on LinkedIn and on Facebook to try to find people in my area that were UX designers, that were working with tech, and that were, you know, steps ahead compared to me. I would literally just reach out to them, send them a message on LinkedIn, tell them what I was doing, and tell them that I really wanted to hear about their experiences. And I found that people were super friendly and super willing to do this. I had a bunch of really good meetings with these people where I would basically just ask questions about how they got into the field, what their day-to-day work looks like, and ask them if they had any tips for me on, you know, how to make progress. So by doing that, it really just provided me with some really good experience and knowledge from people that are actually doing the job that I wanted to do. And again, it gets you out there, it gets you connecting with other people and just sharing what it is that you're doing. And again, that's something that can help you stay motivated. My fifth and final tip for staying motivated and on track when you're self-learning is to start teaching others. This may sound like a bit of an odd one because you are supposed to be learning and not teaching, right? But when I say teach, I think I really just mean explain to others what you're learning. So this is something I started doing quite early on as well. I started writing blog posts about what I was learning. I started doing posts on Instagram where I just tried to articulate some of the knowledge that I was picking up through the books that I was reading and the online courses I was following, because to me, this was a really great way to process the things that I was learning. I really felt like when I had to explain a concept or a method to someone else, it really requires you to really think about what you've learned to be able to explain it to someone who doesn't know it yet. And so I would definitely encourage you to do this kind of teaching yourself as you learn new material. Maybe you can do it like I did it and actually publish blog posts online, share it with other people, but it could also be something as simple as writing down something that you just read or learned in your own words. Try to write it as if you're explaining it to someone who doesn't know anything about it. So start teaching what you're learning to others, and you might end up learning something too. All right, guys, those were my 5 tips. Those are some of the things that have helped me along the way when I was learning on the side. But I would love to hear your tips as well. If you've been learning something on the side, or you just generally have some tips that could help others, feel free to share them. Write a comment underneath this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope my video helps you learn more and to stay focused. If you don't want to miss any of my videos in the future, then I highly encourage you to subscribe to this channel. And if you don't follow me on Instagram already, my username is down here somewhere. Go ahead and follow me there as well. And I guess that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.